An outbreak of Salmonella infections primarily affecting young children was caused by exposure to a specific type of pet aquatic frog, researchers reported. Between 2008 and 2011, 376 cases of Salmonella typhimurium were reported from 44 states, with 69% being in children younger than 10, according to Shawnameti Harecki, RN, of the CDC in Atlanta, and colleagues. In a case control study designed to identify the specific source of the infection, exposure to frogs, and the African dwarf frog in particular, was found in 67% of cases but in only 3% of controls, giving a matched odds ratio of 12.495% CI 1.9 to infinity, the researchers reported. Online in Pediatrics. Reptiles and amphibians are known to be carriers of Salmonella, and multiple outbreaks have occurred linking infections to turtles, but there have been no previous large outbreaks associated with frogs, and specifically the aquatic African dwarf frog. Following the reports of clusters of infections with Salmonella typhimurium beginning in late 2008, the CDC and other public health authorities conducted an investigation, questioning patients and parents about numerous types of potential exposures, including foods and animals. Among the most common exposures reported were cheese crackers, aquatic animals, peanut butter, and pretzels. The median age of affected individuals was 5 years, and almost one-third were hospitalized. No deaths occurred. A total of 61% of patients and families interviewed reported exposure to frogs, and among those who knew the type of frog, 79% indicated that it was an African dwarf frog. Only 27% reported actual contact with the frog. In 60% of cases, there had been exposure to the animal's habitat or the water in its tank, with more than one-third saying that they had cleaned the frog's tank in the kitchen sink. Only 17% were aware of the risk of Salmonella infection with exposure to these animals. The case control analysis included 18 patients infected with the typhimurium strain and 29 controls with other types of Salmonella infections. In this group, 78% of cases had exposure to an aquatic animal, compared with 38% of controls or 4.7, 95% CI 1.2 to 27. The source of the outbreak was traced to an African dwarf frog breeding facility in California. Contamination was found in eggs, tank water, floors, filters and cleaning equipment. The facility was closed down for several months and monitoring of the site continues. Harecki and colleagues cautioned that the outbreak is likely to persist, because African dwarf frogs typically can live as long as 18 years. The animals have become increasingly popular as pets in recent years. Although African dwarf frogs are often purchased from pet stores, they are increasingly found at fairs, festivals, and novelty, education, and toy stores and are marketed as good pets for young children or school classrooms, the researchers observed. And children are particularly susceptible to Salmonella infections for various reasons, including young age and improper hand washing. Healthcare providers should increase their efforts in educating parents about the possible hazards of permitting amphibian and reptile pets in the home or daycare setting, and pet stores should provide clear information on safety guidance, the authors advised. In addition, parents should be cautioned not to let young children clean tanks, and not to use household sinks for cleaning. Finally, consumers should be educated that exposure may be indirect, such as contact with aquarium water containing frogs or turtles, and on simple hygiene precautions, the researchers concluded.